I wanted to unpack something with you, Gavin, that I think has been really brewing. We've covered it a little bit on the show already, but we had a conversation only a week ago. It was a week ago today with Edinger Mentum, right? The Substacker. His real name's Josh. If you guys are curious, check out that interview. But we talked about how the number one Dem primary candidate was AOC, right? And that was at his power ranking, right? This was just, Josh's take, the Edinger Mentum guy, right? And after that happened, it seems like AOC has just stepped in endless dog shit, okay? And some of you guys have been defending her. That's okay. But let's go ahead and take a look at this original tweet, right? Actually, this is the old. There we go. So I'll zoom in. You guys remember this? We discussed it on the show a few weeks ago. She says, Marjorie Taylor Greene's amendment does nothing to cut off offensive aid to Israel, nor end the flow of U.S. munitions being used in Gaza. Of course, I voted against it. What it does do is cut off, quote, defensive Iron Dome capabilities while allowing the actual bombs killing Palestinians to continue. I have long stated that I do not believe that adding the death count of innocent victims to this war is constructive to its end. That is a simple and clear difference of opinion that has long been established. I remain focused on cutting the flow of U.S. munitions that are being used to perpetuate a genocide in Gaza. Everybody under the sun, Kyle Kalinske, Francesca, Mike from PA, Juniper, Jank Uger himself, Mike Figueredo, G Squirrel, this Blakely account, Zainab Day, Denims, everybody gets in on the pile-on.
And by the way, just before we move on, the worst thing about this tweet, like, it would be one thing if AOC just voted the way she did and then like shut the fuck up about it and like didn't, make the stupid excuse. But the worst thing about this is that she's basically implying with this line here, I have long stated that I do not believe that adding to the death count of innocent victims to this war is constructive to its end. She's basically implying that that's a difference of opinion between her and the fellow squad members of hers, plus Representative Al Green, who did vote for this amendment, right? Al Green, Summer Lee, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar. So AOC is implying that they want innocent victims to be added to the death count. She's fucking implying that she wants that they want more innocent civilians to die, whereas she, in her virtuousness, does not. And it's like, come on, bro. You didn't have to throw your fellow fucking squad members under the bus in that way, implying that they want civilians to die. No, that's clearly not why they voted the way they did. That's a total straw man that you're using to make yourself look more virtuous and to make this vote look more justified. But I think that's going to, preface some of what we're going to get into from Ilhan.
Oh, yes, 100%. 100%. It basically creates a lane for right-wing Democrats and every single Republican to accost people like Ilhan Omar, people like Rashida Tlaib, who's the only Palestinian American in Congress, and call them anti-Semitic and say, oh, you just hate Israel. Oh, you just hate Jewish people. You're anti-Semitic. She created a fertile lane for that. And she doubles down on her positioning, right? Which is crazy. She should have logged off. She says, Google is free. If you're saying I voted for military funding, you are lying. Okay, she literally opposed an amendment that would cut military funding. So this is a distinction without a difference. Drag me for my positions all you want, but lying about them doesn't make you part of the quote unquote left. If you believe neo-Nazis are welcome and operating in good faith, you can have them. And that, I think, was the final straw for Ilhan Omar. Also, shout out to Anthony Fantano for getting in her replies and saying, you're not going to go full John Fetterman, are you?
That's savage.
100%.
Yeah, and can we go up there one more time to that tweet? Because, again, it's so fucking stupid. She's once again throwing under the bus and smearing the very good faith pro-Palestinian representatives who did vote for this amendment. Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Representative Al Green, and
Summer Lee and Thomas
Summer
Massey.
Lee, yeah. She's basically saying that they are so stupid that they fell for the neo-Nazi, pretending that person is operating in good faith. When in reality, no, I'm sure that Ilhan Omar, I'm sure that, Al Green, I'm sure they're no fans of Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's not like, Representative fucking Rashida Tlaib is just sitting around waiting for the opportunity to collaborate with her bestie MTG. Obviously fucking not. But that's not really the way that this fucking works, right? Unfortunately, the nature of being a representative or a senator is that, yeah, sometimes you do have to sign on to a bill or co-sponsor a bill that's, written by someone you totally fucking disagree with. That's the fucking nature of it. Ro Khanna's done it with Rand Paul. Rand Paul's probably said just as many objectionable things as fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know what I'm saying? And I never hold that against Ro Khanna.
Oh, 100%. And so all of that context is added to this tweet from Ilhan Omar, who I personally hold as potentially the most courageous member of Congress, along with her fellow squad members who, always make the correct vote. And I've been very impressed by Rashida Tlaib for a long time, and I've grown really impressed recently by Summer Lee and Al Green. I think
Rashida Tlaib didn't even endorse Biden, remember? And she or Kamala or whatever, and she actually walked up to Biden, remember that? And then Biden called her Rashid. Either way.
Yeah, exactly. She's shown, and Ilhan Omar has shown far more political courage and backbone than AOC has ever demonstrated. The genocide of the people of Gaza continues as members of Congress, vote to fund Israel's defensive and offensive military capabilities. This is immoral, and no amount of excuses will ever make it okay. That is 100% a reference to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and that's why she said vote to fund Israel's defensive and offensive military capabilities. And it might even be a shot that extends all the way to Bernie Sanders, who has also taken the position that he supports the Iron Dome.
Yeah, no, definitely a pretty clear shot from Ilhan Omar. And Zach, I was looking back through our channel's history. This actually isn't the first time, even in the last 6 months or a year, that Ilhan has taken a shot at AOC. I don't know if you remember, but we covered at the time Ilhan in very clear terms taking a shot at AOC after AOC's ridiculous line, which is aged like fucking milk, at the DNC, about how Kamala and Biden were working tirelessly for a ceasefire. So Ilhan, clearly for a while now has been a little bit pissy about AOC. Definitely, subtweeting here and there, making it known that, she's not exactly always amused with AOC and the direction she's going. Specifically, I think because AOC continues to kind of ascend into this position of leadership when it comes to the left. Obviously, a lot of people are talking about her running for president. So I think Ilhan's, maybe a little bit increasingly annoyed by some of AOC's posturing here. And she's like, come on, this is bullshit.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I think she's more than annoyed. I think she's probably heartbroken. I think she's probably devastated like the rest of us, right? There is this instinct among progressive voices on the left because admittedly, there are a lot of disingenuous smears from the right against AOC. And so a lot of us, and in the past, I felt this way too. It's like, hey, I want to defend AOC from these illegitimate smears. When they talk about how she can't win because she's a woman, when they talk about how, she doesn't have, 50 state popularity, we'll talk about, no, she could have 50 state popularity if she really embraced these ideas. Like, I totally think a woman can be president, yada, yada, yada. But what I cannot stand for and what I do not accept is this popular thing on the left where we just say, oh, well, AOC is the best we have, so let's not criticize her, because we do have better examples. They're staring us right in the face. They're Ilhan Omar, they're Rashida Tlaib, they're Summer Lee, they're Al Green, right? They're people who are taking the clear moral position. And the only way to move AOC to the left is to criticize her and voice your dissatisfaction. Clearly, she's hearing it because AOC keeps tweeting about this niche vote that created a lot of fucking kerfuffle, right? She got ratioed into oblivion 2 times on Twitter, right? And now she stopped talking about it. So it's...
Do you also see her office got vandalized, which was really shitty?
Yeah, and that just fucking feeds into the argument that her and every other Democrat and mainstream Democrat are going to try and be like, these people will never be satisfied. Look at AOC. She's so far left and she's so woke and they're still vandalizing her office, right? And the people that claimed responsibility for it said that, they lumped her in with Richie Torres, which I did think was fucking crazy, right? Given the fact that Richie Torres has rolled out the red carpet for Israel, and AOC is at least rhetorically critical and has voted against the funding and whatnot.
100%. And again, I don't want to just come out here and join into the circle jerk of tearing down AOC over this. Ultimately, when push comes to shove, I'm still going to support AOC if she's the most viable progressive running in 2028. I still, even if she doesn't do that, I'll obviously support her running against Chuck Schumer if she decides to do that. I don't want to make this such a big deal where it's fuck AOC, everyone get your pitchfork out. I totally disagree with her. But I don't want to go over the top also, ultimately, I'm just disappointed because this is so unnecessary. And I really thought that in the post Zoran victory era, I really thought that AOC would have the guts to kind of distance herself from this 2018 AOC, kind of mealy-mouthed pandering to the Israel issue. Like, you know what I'm saying? When she voted for the Iron Dome, I thought that was all in the past. I thought the newer, more mature AOC, especially after Zoran won, I thought she would realize that, like, oh yeah, I don't have to do that anymore. I don't have to pander to fucking AIPAC. I don't have to pander to Zionists. I can just be honest, because Zoran was honest. And like I said, Zoran displayed real political courage, in my opinion, by not pandering to the Zionist crowd. He did not condemn the phrase globalize the intifada. AOC 100% would have. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, 1 million.
But I thought that Zoran's victory would prove to her that, like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to debase yourself by pandering to Zionists anymore. Apparently not. Apparently she still feels that it's necessary. The only other possibility I see, Zach, is that she does agree with Summer Lee, Representative Al Green, Rashida Tlaib, and Ilhan Omar, but this is actually a personal petty thing between her and Marjorie. Because if you remember, there's been some pretty ferocious tussles between AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene going back basically ever since Marjorie got elected. They've really had it out for each other. It's been a bad blood between them. I know they've gotten in like fucking at one point, Marjorie Taylor Greene was trying to goad AOC into debating her.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? We covered it. So it's possible that AOC does low-key agree with her colleagues who voted alongside Marjorie, but she's just like, fuck this bitch. I'm not joining her little fucking parade when I know this amendment's going to fail anyway. Like, fuck you guys. Like, it's also possibly personal.
Yeah, I honestly, maybe, but I also think back at the last time that she voted present for the Iron Dome funding and capitulated on that. And I look at the videos of Bernie Sanders going out and saying that he supports defensive weaponry and defensive arms being sent to Israel because the people there are subjected to terrorist attacks from Hamas. And it's just like, bro, I'm so tired of hearing that stupid shit from you. I need you to change your positioning. And that's why I'm excited. And I'm grateful that there are people with the courage like Ilhan Omar, like Rashida Tlaib, to put principle over party, to put principle over petty beef. I'm sorry you don't like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I'm sorry that you think she's a fascist. You're in the United States government that's run by a fucking fascist. So could we please just go ahead and play chess, not checkers, for a second? Yeah. And this was my take that I put out a few days ago, which was some of you needed to come to terms with the fact that it's okay and reasonable to criticize AOC. When she fucks up, she needs to hear about it, just like all politicians, because we need to force her to correct herself, right? I think there's a strong argument to be made that deep down, if we're just psychoanalyzing AOC, she probably wanted Brad fucking Lander to win that mayoral race, right? She probably wanted Zoran to come in second and be like, see, we have to go with the more like fucking middle of the road guy like Brad Lander. She tweeted constant praise about Brad Lander, right? Whereas it took her a while to endorse Zoran. I'm not saying that she wouldn't, but she waited until it was clear he was going to win, right? And I just think that the way that she's positioned herself in the aftermath of that, like still too fucking skittish to come out, guns blazing, like it is a little fucking annoying.
Yeah, agreed. And also the people that are making excuses for her being like, oh, she's just worried about her political future, like she's worried about getting taken out of Congress like Jamal Bowman did. Like, she's fine. That's honestly not a good excuse, because she's fine. She's gonna get reelected. She's been reelected like 3 fucking times. Mm-hmm. She clearly in her district, she's fine. She's fine. Maybe she's worried that when she runs for president, they'll use this against her or something if she hadn't voted for it. But it's like, again, I think Zoran's low-key proof that you can survive that. You can survive that. Fuck them. Let them call you an anti-Semite. It doesn't fucking matter anymore. Even Democrats are fucking done with it, bro. All these liberals, they're like, no, I'm done with having Israel call the shots. I'm done with having, our fucking Democratic leaders start these fucking wars and contribute to the aggression against the Palestinian people. They don't fucking like it. Yep. So if AOC really took a stand and said, no, I'm with the base, I'm with the motherfucking people that are sick of sending hundreds of billions of dollars overseas to this country so they can perpetually fucking attack their neighbors, so they can be a perpetual fucking aggressor in the region, so that they can get off scot-free while bombing every fucking country around them, because oops, we have an Iron Dome, so you can't bomb us back. Oops, sorry Syria, sorry fucking Palestine, sorry all these other sorry Iran, sorry, we gotta bomb the shit out of you. Lebanon, sorry, literally every country that fucking surrounds us and borders us, we gotta bomb you, and you don't get to bomb us because the U.S. fucking funds us to the tune of hundreds of billions of taxpayer dollars. She could have taken a stand against that. I think a talented politician could make a fucking convincing case. They could articulate a compelling case for why you would want to vote against that or be against that. And again, take the America First lane. Take it right from the fucking Republicans. Say, we actually are America First. we actually don't fucking think this is a good use of taxpayer money.
Look out the door if you hear an ambulance. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there, sir. The Vanguard will be there. Be there.